This is the 411, your host, Matt Mike.
And welcome to another edition of the 411. I'm Matt Mike, your host. So there's 4 teams in the playoff picture right now: Mississippi State, Florida State, Auburn, and Oregon. So you have 2 teams from the SEC West, the ACC, and the Pac-12. At the end of the day, at the end of the season, I believe there will be only 2 teams representing the SEC West in the playoff picture. I do think Florida State will make the run. They will stay undefeated. I think Oregon will win out. They'll be the 4 seed. And I do think there will be 2 teams in the SEC. Who those 2 teams are, I have no idea. The SEC is completely jumbled. It's up for grabs. Every single team is beating up on each other. It's going to come down to the Iron Bowl, in my opinion. I really think that the Alabama-Mississippi State game, that could go either way. Same with Auburn and Alabama in the Iron Bowl. That's going to be the crucial factor of what's going to happen for the playoff picture. No doubt about it. That game is going to mean so much, not just for those 2 teams, but for the rest of the SEC West that are still clinging on. You see, right now, this is what's so exciting about college football. Last week, the Auburn going to Ole Miss, that game, that was just an absolute unbelievable game. It was a classic. It was one to remember. Both teams were striking, and they could score at will, and the defense managed to make plays at the very end for Auburn. And those type of games matter, and that's why college football is so exciting. And you'll see a lot of teams start to dwindle out of the playoff picture because of those games. So Ole Miss, they need a lot of help. They're probably not going to make the playoffs now because of that loss. If you have 2 losses, you're done. So at the end of the day, I do think Auburn will beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl. I think that Alabama, they're just too young right now. They're just inexperienced. It's a Nick Saban team. It's Alabama, and they have a lot of pride, but Auburn has so many weapons on the outside, and their defense can make plays when needed, and their offense just is an absolute machine. So I do think Auburn will win out, and they will beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl. They'll slide up. Now, say Alabama beats Mississippi State. Now that's where things will get interesting. So it's a crazy time of year. That's why I love college football. I think that's why America loves college football, because any given Saturday, anything can happen. Any team can win. Upsets all the time. That's why the great thing about rivalries, every single rivalry matters. You have the underdog team beating the powerhouse all the time. That's why college football is so great. So right now, Oregon, Mississippi State, Auburn, Florida State. It's going to be interesting, too. If the standings stay right now, you'll have a rematch between 2 and 3, Florida State and Auburn. Now, that's going to be a rematch of last year's national championship game, which is going to be very intriguing to watch if that stands. That's why college football is so great. I'm Matt Mike on the 411. See you tomorrow.